Hi guys, welcome to Business with Maguava. I am your host Salma Motsi, Dini Maguava Wacho, and I am currently here with the stunning, the beautiful, the gorgeous founder of DeliveredPrints, Perle Badza. Perle, how are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you. How are you?
I'm good. You look amazing, by the way. I love the pink.
Thank you.
So Perle is the founder of DeliveredPrints. It's a branding and printing company, and she's been doing very well. She's only 24, and I think she'd be a big inspiration to a lot of the youth in Zimbabwe who've been telling themselves, 2026, igorere mari. I want to make money. I want to start my business. How do I do it? Where do I start? And what should I expect? So the first question I have here is, where did the idea come from, and what problem did you want to solve?
Okay, I think for me to answer your question, we have to go a little bit back in time. My first official enterprise was a small boutique agency. It was called Proverb. So we do a lot of digital marketing, digital services, social media, managing campaigns for companies. So that was what I initially started doing. And that went on for about 2 years almost. And then unfortunately, things transpired that I had to shut down that business. I wasn't able to keep up because a lot was happening in my own personal life as well as some of my partners. So we ended up deciding to make the hard call to shut down. So it was at that time that I had to think about what was next for me. So actually I had just given birth, and I think I was a year into motherhood when I then decided to start DeliveredPrint. And for me, DeliveredPrint was a pivot from something that I guess you could say failed to something else. I wouldn't really call it quite a failure because I'm proud of the experience that I gained from DeliveredPrints. I'm proud of the experience that I gained from Proverb because, it made me look at money differently, made me look at people differently, and business differently. I just have a completely different appreciation for the way things need to run. And I think for Proverb, it just grew so fast that I just couldn't keep up. So those are some of the things that I had in mind when I decided that I would do this DeliveredPrint. And it was such an easy pivot for me because it was already existing within the same industry that I was working in. So it wasn't too far off from advertising and whatnot, because I'd find a lot of the time in the advertising space, you design a lot of things for clients and they end up looking for suppliers to print out exactly what it is that you would have given them. So I wanted to retain my little ecosystem of networks that I had. Yeah.
Oh, that's amazing. And what would you say were the first steps you took?
The first steps I took. Okay, so the actual name came about to me when an old client of mine had asked me to carry out a printing job, because I would sometimes carry out those printing jobs for my clients. And he said to me, you know what my favorite thing about your services is that you deliver print. So honestly, DeliveredPrint is such a lazy name because that's where it came from. And I thought to myself, wow, why not offer this as a core service where busy people without any time to wait in lines to get their printing done, just send me a WhatsApp or order on my website and get your stuff as soon as you need it. So that was the starting point for me. That client literally turned on a light bulb in my mind. And it was at a time where I was also very spiritually attuned. I had just come out of an Esther fast, and I was looking for my next move. So I said to God, I have no idea what I'm going to do with my life. I've just given birth, and I have no plan. What do I do? And yeah, light bulb moment, DeliveredPrints.
Well, I love the name because it's just straightforward.
So straightforward.
It's easy to say, and it's just it's just exactly what it is. What was the initial reaction from family and friends when you I'll make this a two-part. When you shut down Proverb and when you started Delivered Prints?
Okay. My family had, particularly my dad, he had been so proud of Proverb and that, you know, his daughter was going after something that was so much bigger than her. Because within Proverb, I felt like David up against Goliath, because there's just so many agencies in the market, big agencies, and then you're just this tiny little agent competing for the same clients that they are. And so when I shut down Proverb, it was like, I don't know, like they just did not take it well. They were like, no, why are you stopping? And you know, I don't even know how to answer that question.
It's okay.
They were not happy about it. They were not happy, to the point where also with Delivered Prints, everybody sort of undermined what I was building. People were like, oh, so you're just printing business cards and flyers now? Is that what you've decided to do? And they made it sound like I just become this Msiamwa entrepreneur when I really had such a big vision for what it is that I was building, or what I am currently building. Yeah.
Well, I'm really proud of you.
Thank you.
I am. So, okay, so I guess you answered the question because you mentioned how your family was not really happy about you ending something because they saw like, oh my God, this thing is growing, you're going towards something great, and then you just felt like it was very overwhelming, and then you start something else and they probably thought it was like, it's not as big as what you were doing before, and they probably wanted you to do, you know, something similar, which it is similar, but like at the same capacity as the previous one. And I think what the young person watching this could learn from this is that sometimes kind of just step back, because this is actually something new and you've been doing so well, but at the time you were scared to be like, oh no, can I close this chapter? Is it a good idea? But then now something new came up, and I think it's going to actually be way better than what you were doing before. I don't think I know. So it just shows that I'm not saying people should give up, but you should know kuti up and like dabo, like yeah, it's time to just close this chapter. Even if people are fighting you, you should just be like, because your mental health also matters at the end of the day. Because you can go crazy. You can literally just lose your mind. Here's something else I wanted to discuss. So let's talk money.
Okay.
So how did you raise the money or save the money for Delivered Prints?
I love this question because every time someone asks me, they're just so surprised. I started the company with nothing. Nothing. $0. Zero. What it is having a network of people. Network of suppliers, building relationships with suppliers who will allow you to have that credit line, which I feel like is how a lot of people do business in Zimbabwe, where you rely on a specific supplier and you outsource. So you don't have to have it now. But while you're building your name and trying to, you know, build some sort of track record, you have to have people that you know who can put you in those positions of winning.
Okay, so for the young people out there who are watching this show, how would you advise people? Like, how can one build the network? Because I know some people, they're like, oh no, I want to do these things, connections. But what I've realized in my own line of work and stuff, you need to leave the house.
Absolutely.
You need to actually leave the house.
You don't find clients locked up in an office. You don't find suppliers sitting down on your sofa. You have to go out and meet people. And it's not even about connections. You can meet someone tomorrow and work out some sort of arrangement. And if it works, great.
And I feel like these days it's actually way easier than back in the day. Back in the day, you probably had to go to conferences and all these things. I feel like if you can work on your proposal, put some effort into the business you want to do, contact people. Don't be scared. Like, if you just contact them, say, hey, I have this vision. I want to do this. I mean, obviously, maybe you might fail. Some people might not even respond. But if you just sit down, look at the clients, the potential clients, the people you want to work with, and just like contact them. If all it takes is Wi-Fi, you can go to a Wi-Fi spot or your friends or your aunt's house or someone who has Wi-Fi and contact the people with your proposal. And now, especially with like AI and ChatGPT, as long as you have an idea, build the network.
I actually created my logo with ChatGPT.
Really? Yeah. I love that.
I'm so tight with AI. Like, it has helped me so much to where I feel like I don't have to grow as fast because I'm moving fast with AI. So just the other day, I was able to plug in some of my financials, like all my quotes, and I told it to give me an analysis. And it told me, oh, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you're doing this wrong, you need to fix this. And treat certain quotations with a different level of seriousness than you would treat a small job. So I really like it because honestly, I feel like it's accelerated me in a lot of ways. The way I talk to clients, the way I handle jobs, the way I structure projects is a lot to do with AI. Even coming up with ideas, like I just have to run it through my AI first so that we can get the best possible version of what it is we're trying to create.
So also for the young people watching this, and not even just young people, just people in general, take advantage. Like, your phone is not just for TikTok and just texting your friends on WhatsApp. Take advantage of the technology you have, because we actually have this opportunity to do a lot of things that, as she said, you made your logo and stuff and all of that. You realize that a lot of things that you'd have to outsource, like maybe 5-10 different people to do things for you, you can easily do them yourself as someone who's starting. You said you didn't even start with like any capital.
No. Right?
You just started, and then you were using ChatGPT to make the logo. That's the first step, the branding. I think that's really amazing. Would you say, what was your biggest financial mistake, would you say? I'd like to say from Proverb and from...
My biggest financial mistake, I think I'll have to take it from Proverb, because with Proverb we grew so fast. I wanted to have an office. I wanted to have people who I was supporting. Like, I just had it in my mind. I had the goal to have the highest paid designers in Zimbabwe, the highest paid salespeople in Zimbabwe, and I started there. And you know what? I was able to sustain it for a little bit until, like I said, I was a small little girl going against big giants. They would eventually catch wind that, oh no, this girl is doing this. And then before you know it, that opportunity is like snatched. So a lot of those opportunities were being snatched away from me. I found myself not being able to keep up with bills. And you know what, actually, now that I think of it, it was also during the election time. So companies were not spending as much money on advertising. So that really was a big blow, because I just invested in an office space. And I think that might have been a mistake, because there was no need. We live in a digital age where it's okay for you to work from home. We don't actually have to meet up for you to do something. Like with my designers, I wanted to see them right next to me. I wanted to know what they were doing, and I wanted them close by. But I don't even know where that controlling behavior comes from, because that's what COVID-19 taught me. Like, the world is your office. Yeah, you should be able to take care of that. And I was able to at least learn that in your first years of business, try as much to keep overheads as low as possible. As low as possible. Even with DeliveredPrints, I'm in no rush to expand. Slow and easy wins the race. Yes.
Okay. What's an expense that you were shocked by that you didn't actually when you were doing your first financial plan? What's an expense that like popped up that you didn't expect it? And then you realize, oh my God, I'm spending so much money on this like tiny little thing I overlooked.
I think for me, because a lot of what I do is outsourced, I spend a lot of money on cost of goods. So for me, the next chapter is investing in my own equipment, because then I don't have to spend as much on creating something for a client. Yeah, I don't know if that answers your question at all.
I mean, it does. Yeah. I guess you probably didn't think like using someone else's equipment is like a cost that you feel like once you have, you don't have to pay for that anymore. That's like...
It's so expensive.
Just like the office thing you were talking about, how you're paying rent or whatever, and then you realize, oh, I can just work from home.
Yeah. And you know what? I also want to touch back on the issue of having a network. So what I did is I actually partnered up with a company that sells printing equipment. So they have a lot of machines on their showroom, and to keep those machines running smoothly, they have to be in operation. So if they're going to be selling that machine, they have to show you that it works. But it has to stay what's the word?
Running?
It has to keep running on a daily basis. So I recognized that. And I said, okay, I don't have the upfront capital to invest in my own machinery. Can I partner with you to make sure your machines stay running? I run my jobs through these machines. And that's essentially how DeliveredPrints came to be and how it's managed to sustain itself. But also you are relying on someone else's equipment. So there's that blowback that, they might not have electricity sometimes, or maybe they are using it for something else, or maybe there's a client. So those are some of the challenges that I would then come across. And yeah, that's what I mean when I say make connections with people, identify opportunities where each person gets to win.
Oh, okay. I understand that. That's actually you're so smart, because I'm like, I'm actually thinking, oh, that's actually the smartest thing I've ever heard.
All of a sudden, that eliminates my need to have machines now. Yeah, and I want to work with the best of the best. I don't want Chinese equipment. I'm sorry. I don't work with Chinese equipment.
Okay, then another thing I wanted to ask, when you were doing your planning, I see a lot of people when they want to start something, they procrastinate, and then they spend so much time.
Oh no, you just have to do
planning and planning and planning. Like, I know, but I want to do this and this. And then initially your capital could have been, for example, $10, but because you kept getting bigger and bigger, your capital, no, I actually need $1,000 to start. What was that push that made you, no, today I just need to start?
So I tell you what, I had that mentality of I need to raise my capital. I did my financial projections, my cash flows, everything. I was speaking to investors, and the question that I would find myself having to answer is, what's your market? Who's your market? What does your market look like? And then I realized I actually have to show people that this is a working business model. I have to start the work now if I'm going to be able to prove that whatever capital you're going to give me is actually going to yield back some sort of interest and it's going to be worth it. Which is when I saw that, okay, I have to move. It forced me to think about those creative solutions to make deals with people with their machines, and I lease their machines. So yeah, I mean, I hope that answers your question.
It does. So, being a Zimbabwean in this current economy, and being a woman as well, and being like a mother at the same time, I'm sure you've had like a lot of struggles. So I'm gonna give you a choice. I'm gonna give you a choice. Okay. So you can mention either like how you've managed to balance motherhood and working, so that for other moms out there, they can be like, oh wait, I can actually do this too. Like, having a child doesn't hold me back. It's not dragging me down. I can still push and do what I want to do and start a business. Two, being a woman in this business, I'm a woman too, so I do understand in this Zim economy where there are a lot of amazing business women in this space, but not enough. It's like most industries are still male dominated unless it's beauty, and you don't work in beauty. And then in the Zim economy, as in like finances, USD, local currency and stuff. So you can pick one of the three areas.
Okay. How have I been able to balance motherhood and business? That's actually a really great question. And I think there's no real balance. Balance is a myth to me. What has helped is honestly hiring a nanny. I do not know what I would do without my nanny. And obviously, having help does not mean you're outsourcing motherhood. I still have to guide her in how I want her to treat my daughter, how I want her to take care of her, because there's certain things I don't want. So I had to... Can I answer that again?
Yeah.
Okay, balancing motherhood with business. So there's no real balance. What I was able to do is get myself a nanny, and I guide her every day what to do with her, down to her activities. Today I want you to paint with her. Today I want you to take her out on a walk. Like, I'm just like that because that's what I would do if I had the time. So there's no reason why she shouldn't be able to do it. And a lot of people are going to bash me and say, okay, you're outsourcing motherhood. But there's simply no other way for me to get things moving if I'm not building my business, right? And I'm struggling with this question.
I mean, essentially, you do have to work, because I'm sure part of the reason is you're working for her.
Yes, you have to work. So it's really all about your community of people, because it's not just the nanny. There's also my mom, my siblings, my aunts, my uncles. It all comes down to the village that you have, and them recognizing what it is you're trying to build and understanding what's required of you, because a lot of my time is required of me to be able to pour myself wholeheartedly into building something that actually makes sense. So it's really hard. I find myself feeling guilty a lot that I'm just spending so much time building this thing and not enough time with my daughter. But I think guilt is a good thing, because if I didn't feel guilty, that would be a little bit alarming.
Well, that's amazing. So at least people can tell that you're saying there's no balance, but we're having a conversation before we started shooting, and you're like, the goal is to like build this thing until it can run on its own without you there.
Yeah.
So then that would still benefit your child long term, because you get to spend more time with her and you have more resources to give her as well.
You always have to have the bigger picture in mind.
Because they're going to be, right now she's still a baby, so but there's going to be school fees days.
Exactly.
And leavers dance days.
And I have to be prepared for all those times.
And first car, and uni, and all these things. So that was a great answer. Thank you. And I'm sure it's going to motivate a lot of people, because, sometimes people have a child and they think, it's over.
Nah, man, you really have to have a nanny. Like, I cannot even stress it. Yeah. You can't be burnt out as a woman, especially like you said, it's a male-dominated field. So you have to operate at that same level to compete. I mean, you're not always going to operate like... Okay, what I mean to say is... it's a male-dominated space. You being a female makes it... am I even saying anything?
It's okay. Do you want me to ask the next question?
No, I'm trying to conceptualize my answer because also there's that aspect of still... You have to be able to switch from your feminine to your masculine constantly, and also having that help allows me to operate at the same level that a guy would. Because a guy doesn't have the responsibility of thinking, okay, I have to buy diapers, I have to buy this, I have to do the school run and all of this. Maybe they do, but for me that's like top of mind. But if I've got someone helping me, all of a sudden it sort of eliminates the burden. Does that make sense?
Lessens the burden.
Lessens the burden, exactly.
Yeah. Okay. So, what would you say is the biggest lesson you've learned, and give advice to young people who want to start?
The biggest lesson I've learned. I want to say it in Shona.
You can say it in Shona. We'll add captions.
I want to say it in Shona, but I don't know if I'm going to say it right. Kurova simbichi pizza. Is that correct?
Yeah, I think it's correct.
Strike
the iron while it's hot.
Simbinoro aicha piece. Exactly. You have to strike while
while the iron's hot.
You have to strike while the iron is hot, because God will give you an idea and it's your responsibility to see it through. You just have to do it. You have to. Don't waste any time thinking too much. You just have to execute. And that's the biggest lesson I've learned, because there's a difference between people who have dreams and people who execute on those dreams. You have to go for it. I cannot even stress it enough. You just have to grab the thing.
Just do it. Just do it.
You just have to do it.
Just do it.
You have to execute. Yes, of course, it requires a certain level of planning, but if God gives you an idea, you have to be faithful to that idea and see it through, because there's a need. It means there's a need. If it's in your mind, it means that it's for you to do.
Yeah.
If it's in your mind for you to conceptualize, you have to do it.
Okay, so we're just going to do a quick game. So you have to pick, it's either or. And then we're just going to finish this off. But this is a great conversation. Thank you so much for coming. Episode 1 with DeliveredPrints, guys. Okay. So, it's either or. Hard work or smart work?
Smart work.
Cash or eco cash?
Cash.
Hire family or never again?
Never.
And your biggest business red flag? When I ask biggest business red flag, I mean like for other people out there who want to like venture into the same industry, what's a red flag from a client? Like munu
biggest red flag. I don't know about the biggest, but when a client says, okay, I'll get back to you.
Let it go.
Yeah, I just let it go. It's not coming.
Don't harass us, guys.
I'll get back to you. Are you serious or not? Like, are we moving? Are we not moving? Let's decide. You always have to talk to the decision maker. I feel like the moment someone says, okay, we'll see, it could mean one of two things. Either they are going back to check on their finances, make sure it makes sense, or that they're not the key decision maker. So you always just have to deal with decision makers. Otherwise, you're going to get your time wasted.
Okay, guys. Thank you for tuning into Business with Maguava. I'll see you next episode. And thank you to the lovely Perle Badza, founder of DeliveredPrints, for coming here and sharing her advice for young people out there who want to start businesses in 2026. Bye, guys.